So hi guys, and thanks for attending today's webinar. Today we are going to be looking at the membership and payments features of Pitchero and how we can help you guys create a really effective membership database which manages your whole club, and how you can then collect membership and other types of payments from your members that you've got on board. So before we get started, just to let you know that if you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. There should be a questions box on your webinar screen. If you wanted to ask me something as we're going along, please type it in and send it to me. What I'll do is I'll keep an eye on the questions box as we're going along. If it's something relevant to what we are discussing, then I will jump in and try and answer it straight away. If it's something that we might have already touched on, or it might be something that we're not touching on right now and might be more relevant to wait a little while, then I'll answer it a bit later on, or probably at the end. And then at the end, there's going to be another chance for you guys to ask your questions, and hopefully we'll be able to get you guys up to speed using these features, and you'll come away from this webinar with the knowledge of how you can make and take your website forward to the next level. So as I mentioned, we're going to look at membership. We'll look at the membership dashboard, then we'll look at the big one, the membership database, how you can construct your own database and create custom registration forms, and then we'll look at how you can do things like add players, manipulate your data and filter your data, and import and export and that kind of stuff as well. Then we'll move over onto the payments feature. We'll look at how you get set up. So we'll go through what all works, how you can add your own products and create these recurring payments. Then we'll look at how you can get your members to the website to pay. And then the important one, we'll look at how you can see who is or isn't paying. And then at the end as well, we'll have a little crossover where I'll show you how you can actually, how the membership and payments features actually integrate with each other. And you can use the membership feature to check on things about payments as well. Okay, so we'll get started straight away and we'll look at the membership dashboard. So this is an overview of your membership levels at your club. So as you can see for my club, I've got 72 members. It gives me the breakdown of roles and when they joined here. But important sections on this page include the registered versus not registered section and receiving email versus not receiving email. So registered versus not registered, I've got 72 members. 45 of those members have registered, so they've created their Pitchero account where they put in their email address and sign up and give the club the membership information. 27 of the 72 people in my database haven't actually registered yet. So with Pitchero and with our membership database, you can add players and parents and coaches and any other member manually. You can add them manually through a spreadsheet, or you can add them one at a time just by clicking a button just like this and add a member button up here. So 27 of my 72 members are in the database, but they don't actually have their own Pitchero account yet. Next one, receiving email versus not receiving email. So of the 45 people that are registered, 41 of those are able to receive email from you, from the club. What happens when a new user signs up is that they receive an email from Pitchero, which is a verification process where they have to verify that their account is genuine. All they have to do is click on the link in the email that they receive. Most people should do it. And what you'll see is that of the people that are receiving email, of the people that are not receiving email, it's the users that either haven't confirmed their email address from that email that they've sent when they created, or it could be people that have actually unsubscribed from all emails. That includes the club emails. So it's quite vital to try and encourage your members not to unsubscribe from any of those emails. We do have help articles on how you can get your members to send these confirmation emails and improve these numbers as well. So check out help.pitchero.com for more info on that one. Okay, so we'll move over onto the membership database itself, and we've created this tool to be one true store of all of your membership information across the whole club. So it's not just your website membership, it's not just all your players and coaches. This should be everyone who's associated with your club, be that, as we say, players, parents, even your junior players. These should be in the database. Anyone who maybe just comes to the clubhouse for a pint after the game, you should have their information stored in a database where you can then use that information maybe to promote events, to ask people to join the website, to join the club as a member, paying member. You should have some information about these people who are associated with your club. So we give you these tools that allow you to store that information and collect your own custom information, and then store it in a nice, easy-to-use table format, what you can actually then even export out to offline versions. So if you did have treasurers or club secretaries that required this information maybe in an Excel spreadsheet, that's no problem. There's many different ways where you can export it, which we'll be going on to shortly. But the kind of the basic principles of this membership database is that each person or member at your club has its own, or has their own record. So each row, and as you can see, there are a number of different columns in this membership database as well. These columns are the fields or the data that you can collect and store against these members. Now we do have a number of default columns that that will appear in a membership database. Things like first name, last name, whether they're registered or not, their email address, date of birth. But a club, importantly, can actually create their own custom sections or custom fields, which then creates these custom columns in your database. You can then choose to show those fields that you want to see. So as you can see, I've filtered, or I've chosen not to show all of the fields in this database, just to save on a bit of space. So I can see some of the information that's important to what I'm wanting to look at right now. Maybe if I wanted to check on people who were receiving email, or if I wanted to include the email addresses of the people in this list so I can quickly see it, then I can just use these fields options up here. We'll go on to how you can actually add a field now, and then we'll come back to the membership database where I'll show you some of the other tools what you can use on this section as well. So if you wanted to create your own custom database, just like my club have done, you go to the field section of your membership section, and you can see we've got some standard fields here, but then I've also added a load of custom fields. All you've got to do is click on add a field. Here you go, you've got some default options again. These are just quick options that you can help you because these are quite popular. But if you wanted to create your own unique field, just click on create your own and scroll down, and you just need to complete this form. Once you've completed this field will be added. You can move it into an order of how you want it, and this will then display in your membership database, and you can choose whether to show it in that database table or not, but it'll always appear in the exports that you do as well. So you give it a name, and let's try adding a field for occupation. We'll give it a short name. Occupation is quite short, so we'll keep it short. So this short name is what appears in the membership database as a column title. So the shorter as possible is the best way to use that one. Description, this is what the user will see when they fill out this information. So if you wanted to give any advice or tips on how they should fill this out accurately, that's where you do it. You can choose to show this as a few different types of fields as well. So you can have it as a single line text or a paragraph text if it's a longer answer. But if you wanted to give your members options of what to choose, so maybe you wanted to say yes, no, I'm not sure. Maybe you wanted to ask a question such as, do you agree to the club's terms of service or code of conduct? You can do that through a drop-down menu like that. We'll just keep it as a text field single line for now. This field will contain anything because it can contain numbers and letters. If it was a mobile number that I was collecting, I'd maybe choose numbers only. We'll keep it anything for now. Who can view and edit this field? So if you want just your webmasters to be able to update this information, you would select the only club admins option. So what that means is if you maybe you were collecting information about your members rather than from your members. So you might want to say, record, have they attended a certain event? Have they volunteered behind the bar? You can actually record this in your membership database without actually asking the user to provide you with the information. Now, if I want the member to actually provide me with this information, I can choose this top option here, club admins and members. So that means the member can update it, but also myself as a webmaster or some of my other webmasters with access can actually come in there and update that as well. Is this field mandatory? Quite obvious. If you want them to have to provide you with this information when they are asked to update their information, select this box, so I'm going to select it. Now, a really important one is this club sign-up form option down the bottom. So as we've mentioned, this information is great. These fields that you're creating are great. You can store them in your database and have all that information stored in this one secure database online. But if you want to find an easier way to collect this information from new members that when they sign up, this is how you can create custom registration forms. So what you do is you'd select the show in sign up form option, and whenever any member joins up and applies for any of these roles that I've selected, they will be asked this question as part of the sign up process. So it's essentially creating a custom sign up form. The way that you can customize it even further is by choosing which roles you want this information to be filled out for. So if, for example, we'll say I want to take the occupation of all my players and store it in my database for the club's purposes. Whenever a new member joins the website and they choose to apply for the player role, they'll be asked this question because I've selected to have this in the player's registration form. One other nice little feature that we've got on here as well is the way that you can control where the information filled out by parents is stored. So with Pitch Hero, we always recommend that, the way that our system works is that the parent should always register as a parent rather than the parent coming on and registering as a child or a player. The parent will then register as a parent. They'll tell you who they are a parent of. They can do that by selecting the player from the list of players that you might have already added to your database, or they can simply just free-form text, tell you the name. In the application, you'll see that this person is applied to be a parent of this player, and you can add both the player and parent to your database then. Now, with any registration forms, if you want to ask the parent to provide you with information about the child, you can now ask the parent to provide you with this information. So they might provide me with this information. Maybe it's not occupation for this one. Maybe it would be medical information or dietary requirements. If you select this option down here, the Their Children option, it means that the parent provides you with the information, but it's then stored against the child's record that they're applying to be a child of. So then, rather than going to your database, if you wanted to find information about the child, you don't have to look for the parent. You just look for the child, and that information is then stored in the record that you'll see in the database. So I'll click Save on this, and there we have it. That's the field created. That's the first step in creating a really effective membership database, which is one store of all information, which is easily accessible online and secure as well. So we'll go back to the database and we'll show you a few more bits of information and tools that you can use on this section. So we've constructed our database, we've got all the fields in there that we need. I now have started to promote the website to my players. I've got some people in the system, but somebody who is maybe new to the club has asked if he can join the website, or I might have a separate spreadsheet of members that aren't in the system yet, and I need to get them in. So what I'll do is I'll click on Add a Member to add somebody manually to this database. First up, you choose a role that they should have. So I'll choose club member. Maybe it's a new player. I'll then choose a team. So it's a new first team player. Click Next. Provide the information for this person. The only mandatory field in this form is the name option. So you can actually add members with or without an email address. So this is a way of you being able to upload all of your junior players to your database. Obviously, they might be too young to have an email address, so you shouldn't give them the parent's email address, you should just leave it blank. The more information you can provide, the better, but I'll just provide the name for now. Click on Add a Member. And that's me adding somebody to the database. There is another way to add members to the database in bulk as well. You can do that through our import tool. We'll go on to that a little bit later on because there's a few more bits in the database that I want to show you first. So as you can see, we've got a number of different, each record in the database or each row in the database is an individual person. When I click on an individual person, it brings up this membership overlay box. This is where you can actually manage that individual's information. You can add or remove roles, you can add or remove groups, you can even view payment information. So as you can see, the different tabs up here. If I wanted to edit or add some of this information that they might have provided with me at training or after the game, I can do. Here's where you'll edit the roles. So maybe this person has actually been given a new role for the first team as well. I'd click Save, and that's their player profile. Their information will be updated as well. The player profile area is quite handy. So this is where you can show a front-end player profile under each team for all of your players that you've got at the club. You can display a nice bit of information, but crucially you can actually add your own player profile image. So if you've got some professional photos done, you can do that here. You can upload them all here for each of your players. But one thing that's quite useful is that you can actually create a different name in the player profile to the name that appears in the membership information. So that allows you to maybe keep the junior players' surnames from the website, from the front end of the website, or maybe it allows you to give all of your first team players their nicknames. So it makes it a bit more interactive, a bit more engaging for your members to when they come to the website, they might like to see those nicknames. But then your membership database is still quite clean and accurate. It doesn't have those nicknames in it. Whenever you've made any changes, you just have to click Save Profile, and that player profile will update automatically. Now, if I wanted to maybe manage or find information out about the members that I've got in this database, there are a few different ways that you can do that as well. We use quick filters up here. So if I wanted to find somebody who's already in this database, I can look for all the Daves. I can see I wanted to look at Dave Cox and see if he's filled out some of this information. And if I wanted to find his emergency contact number, that's where it would be. Obviously use that for whatever I was looking for. But then we've also got some quick filters on here. So if I wanted to maybe see all of the players in a particular team, I would just choose the team that I wanted to see, choose the players as a role. This will then update automatically. So these are all my first team players. There are 22 results. I could then maybe use these fields options to show of those people how many have provided me, or how many of those have allergies. Quickly see a snapshot of those people and the data that they provided me with. Now if you wanted to go into even further detail or drill down even further into your database, I'll just put all these back on. Then we've got more filters in this filters area. So if I click on the filters box, click select filter type, all the custom fields that I've created will appear. There is even all the payment products that appear in this list as well. We'll go on to that at the end. But things like if I wanted to see all of the people that are registered, user is registered, or maybe I want to see all the people that aren't registered actually, click No, click on filter. There you go, 28 people that aren't registered. I then know that I need to try and get all these 28 people to register on the website. One way that you can actually do that is by sending invites from this section. Now you can only send invites to the users that you've actually got an email address for. So maybe I know I've got Adam and Matt and Louise's email address. I can select them just by clicking the tick box. If I wanted to select them all, I can do there, but I'll select just a few for now. And then I'll click on this invite button here. I can put my own little message on there, and this is what the email will look like. They'll receive this email, click on the link, and it'll take them to your website where they register. They'll fill out any of the custom information and the fields that you've asked them to provide. And it's just a really easy and effective way to get your members into this system and registered. So then you can use the payments tools and the communication tools and availability and selection tools really effectively as well. Some of the other bits of information or tools that you can use in this database when you select people appear at the top here. So if I wanted to ask all of the people that have registered to update their information, maybe it's the end of the season or the beginning of a new season, and they have, maybe people might have moved house. I wanted to make sure all that information is up to date. Click on prompt to update information. You can add your own little message again, and the email will look something similar to this, where they click on this link. It takes them to a part of their own account where they can provide you with more information or the information that you've asked them to provide you with. So you just click send prompts, and that will go to their email address. You can edit groups here. So groups are used more in the communications tool. So if you wanted to create a group of all your committee members and you wanted to maybe send emails to your committee members regularly, maybe the meetings of the last committee, you can do that, create a group of all the people that are involved in the committee, send the overview or the meeting, the minutes or the notes about the last committee meeting, send it to everyone, and everyone receives that email to their actual email address inbox as well. If you wanted to edit people's roles in bulk, you can do it here. So this is a useful tool, especially for the beginning of a new season or the end of the previous season. If you wanted to move all of your age groups up to the next level, this is the tool that you'd use. So if I wanted to remove their existing player role for the under 12s and add a player role for the under 13s, what this will do is all of the people that I've selected who have an under 12s player role, that will be removed, but a new under 13s player role will be added. So that's the way that you move people up through the age groups as well. Now, if you wanted to, like I said, provide treasurers or secretaries with offline versions of your database, you can do that, and you can actually do it based on the filters that you've actually filtered for. So if you wanted to find, or if your treasurer asks you for a list of all of the first team players, you can just use the filters and then click on this export button. And what it'll do is it'll ask you which fields you want to export, and if you want to export any payment information as well, click export, and that'll download an Excel spreadsheet, which you can then obviously forward on to whoever was requesting that information, or store it for your own benefit. There is another export tool which allows you to export the full database in an order that you need. So if you wanted to export every bit of information, just go to this export section and follow the instructions on that part of the website as well. So that's about it for your membership database. With this and with all of our features, we do recommend that you have a quick look around if you've not done already. Maybe add some members before you go live, or if you're obviously into the already live with your website and you're maybe mid-season, then this is where you can maybe start preparing for next season. So you can get your custom registration forms ready, you can sort out your database, and you can structure. So it's definitely well worth having a look at and maybe testing out adding some fields and adding some members so that you know how to use these tools and you're familiar with them. When the time's right for you guys, your club, to start using these tools, you'll be good to go then. Just a few more things in the membership section itself. Whenever any new requests are made, so whenever a new member comes to the website and actually fills out the registration form, you'll see a request in your membership request area. I'll see if I can find one here. It'll look something similar to this. So you'll see the person's name, what they've applied for. You'll even see their email address. So if you wanted to maybe ask them for more information before accepting their request, you just copy this email address into your email client, send them a nice email, and then wait for the reply. If you're happy that this person should be that member, just click on accept. It accepts them to your database. If there was a problem or you wanted to reject their role, you just click on reject here. Or if you wanted to ignore it, so you didn't want them to know that you've rejected them, click on ignore. Lastly, one more thing we've got is the team section. So if you wanted to view information about the membership for your teams, you can do that quickly in the team section. So you can I can go to my first team, see a nice, easily laid out list of all the staff and players. So I can see each one here, nice little avatar. But also, I can quickly see whether this player has any parents or children that are in the membership database as well. So what that allows me to do is, for my junior teams, I can ask my team admins or webmasters that have access to each team to come to this section, look at the players, make sure all the players are in the system, and then crucially making sure that the parents are connected to that player as well. So you can see that this person has got Adam as the parent and they're in the system. Again, I can see who the children, if they've got any children at the club as well. So the last thing we'll look at on the membership side is the import tool, which we mentioned. So as you saw, we can add members one at a time, clicking on add a member button in the membership database, providing the information by filling out the form. If you've got a big bunch or a list of all of your existing members on another database or another system stored elsewhere, to save time, you might want to just import all that information into your system in a one-off upload. All you've got to do is follow these instructions in this import section. So crucially, the way that it works is the import that you upload or the data that you upload has to match the columns that you've got in your membership database. So when you export your database, you'll see that each field is a column. When you upload or update the information in via a spreadsheet, you just have to make sure that the information that you're uploading matches the columns that you've got exactly. If you're adding new members to your database, follow these instructions. You just download your existing membership database, scroll right to the bottom of that spreadsheet when you open it, go to the very bottom or the last member that you've got in the spreadsheet and start a new row underneath and add each person as a row underneath that last row that you've got, and provide as much information as you can through that spreadsheet. Again, email address is optional. If you've got their email address, great, it makes it easier for you to then invite people. But if you've not got their email address, maybe the junior members, then just upload them without an email address. Once you're ready to upload the CSV, click on upload here and go through the matching columns process, and then confirm that the upload that you're about to process is accurate. We'll flag up any duplicates or any errors that we find as well. Okay, so that's about it on the membership system for the time being. Now, if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask. What we'll do now is we'll move over onto the payments feature. If there are no questions on membership, but you might think of one whilst we're talking about the payments feature, please feel free to ask that again. I'll probably touch on it at the end. Okay, so let's talk about payments. The payments feature is our tool that allows the club to collect a number of different payments, a number of different types of payment online in a secure and easy to use control panel. So the way that this system works, there are two steps to actually get set up. First step is to register your club bank account so that you can actually collect payments that are then deposited into the correct bank account. The next step is to add the products that you want your members to actually come and purchase or subscribe to. So that could be a monthly senior membership of £10 a month. It could be an annual membership fee of £100. It could be a product or payment for a club tour. It could be a subscription to a 200 club or 100 club. Any kind of payment that you can think of that you want your members to pay for, you should be able to do it through our payment system. So the way that our system works is that we use a payment provider called GoCardless. So the way that why we use GoCardless is that it allows clubs to create flexible products where you can collect recurring payments, you can collect one-off payments, you can choose or set the rate of recurrence as well. So you might want it to recur once every month, once every quarter, twice every 2 weeks. It's up to you. You control the flexibility of the products itself, and you can add a number of those products as well. So GoCardless, all payments made using GoCardless are actually direct debit payments. So a user will, rather than pay with their bank card, they'll actually come to the website, put in their bank account number and sort code, as if they were setting up a subscription to their mobile phone contract or paying a gas bill. That's the way that the GoCardless system works. Because it is, even though it's a direct debit that you might think of as it always recurs, you can actually even create one-off direct debits. So this is a product or a payment that doesn't recur. It's just a one-off fee of a set amount, no recurrence. We'll go into that one a little bit later on as well. So with GoCardless, they're a really secure service. This is one of the main reasons why we've gone with GoCardless as a payment provider. They've actually got bank level encryption on all of the information and the data that they store. So you're in safe hands with the data with GoCardless and providing your bank details to them. They're affiliated to the Royal Bank of Scotland. They've got a really good website where you can check out more of the security information. So you go to gocardless.com/security. You can see it on there. So GoCardless, another reason for using GoCardless is the relatively low fees as well. So this system itself to use and use Pitch Hero payments is free. There's no fees to get set up or fees when you add a product or you add your bank account. There is, however, a fee when a payment is taken. So if a user, when a user comes to pay for a £10 product, for example, you might set this product at £10. The user will then pay £10, but the club will receive that £10 minus 2.9%. So the transaction fee is 2.9%. We say relatively low as a transaction fee, especially when you compare it to some of the previous tools that we've used in the past, like PayPal. So PayPal charged 3.4% plus 20p. So it's more flexible, it's really secure, and low fees as well. Once you've added your products, we'll go over how you can then tell all your members to come to the website, make a payment, subscribe to a product, and then we'll show you the tools that allow you to see all the reporting aspects of it, see who has and hasn't paid, importantly, prompt those people that haven't paid, and just manage the whole system through our reporting and product areas. So what we'll do first is I'll go through the actual creating a bank account with GoCardless process. So all you do is click on Manage Bank Accounts, then click on Add Bank Account with GoCardless. This will take you to a secure GoCardless website where you first create your account. So this is your login information. So that should be quite straightforward. Then it asks you for more information about the club itself. So the club name, a bit more information about the club there. The first question in this list sometimes throws a few clubs. So it asks you, are you a business, a charity, or an individual? So if you choose business, that's absolutely fine if you are a business, but it will ask you to provide a registered company name and a registration number. So the same goes for charity or non-profit. So what we recommend is choosing individual. It's no different on your account. It's purely for GoCardless purposes that they ask this question. So like I say, we recommend choosing individual. It does sometimes ask you for a bit more information, verification here. So it asks you for date of birth. So if you provide the date of birth of the person that is actually creating this account for the club, that should be fine. And the last part of the form is where you add the club's bank details. This is the club's sort code and account number, the club's billing information. This is where, when the user subscribes, this is where the money will be deposited after GoCardless take it from their account. Click on create an account, and that's the first step done. Now sometimes GoCardless will ask clubs for a bit more verification when they create an account. That's usually in the form of a letter or an email, so do keep an eye on those. It doesn't always happen, and I think it's down to GoCardless to activate that verification process. So keep an eye on that and keep a watch out for any posts or emails that you might receive from them. So let's go back to our products area. So I've just added my bank account details and I've connected my club's GoCardless account to the club website. So then any money that I collect will be deposited into the club's bank account then. I just now need to add all the products that I want my members to actually come and purchase. So the way that I do that is by adding a product. You just click on the add a product button on the products page and you'll see that you come up with this form similar to the way that we were adding fields before. You add a name, a description, and then fill out a few of these options on the bottom. And this is where you choose how flexible this product can be. Just to mention, we do have some templates that you can use as well on the right here. So we've got some popular options, things like membership fees, monthly for senior, junior, annual fees where it's just a one-off payment, but things like club lotteries, match fees, club tour collections, sponsorship, fines, like I say, you name it, you should be able to collect it through Pitch Hero Payments. So what I'll do is I will select let's try monthly tour payment. I've got a tour coming up to the west coast of Scotland. I want all my members to come to the website and pay for that product here. Makes it easy for me as a webmaster. I don't have to keep chasing people. Makes it easy for the user as they don't have to bring money to training or after a game. They can just come 24 and any time of the day. It's open 24/7. Come to this website, or you can send them an email and pay for the product securely online. So I've given it a name. I've given it a description. The description just gives the user a bit more information about the product that they're buying. I can give it a category. So the two categories that we've got at the minute are membership fees and other payments. So I'll keep it in other. Payment type. So this is where you can choose whether it's a single payment or the set amount. So maybe I wanted to create a one-off tour payment where they pay the full amount in one go of £100. I just click save and that's the first part of the product created. I want this to be a recurring payment of say £10 a month. So the amount down here, you can set that amount yourself. So this is the amount that that will be taken from the user's account after they've subscribed to the product. And this is where you can control how often that amount is taken. So I can use the number option down here to change the amount of months. Also I can change that to weeks or days. So if I wanted it to be every week, I can do that as well. But I'll do it to recur every month. We'll do £10 a month. Now the starting and end dates, if I choose it to start now, that means that a user can, once they've subscribed to the product, the first payment will be processed straight away. Now with GoCardless and with a direct debit payment, as you might expect, it's not as instant as it would be for a card payment. It usually takes around 6 or 7 working days from when a user subscribes to the product to that money being deposited into the club's bank account. So that's something to bear in mind when you're creating these start and end dates. So what I'll do for this one, if I were to select this to start on a date, let's say the 1st of May, it means that I can ask all my members to actually come and subscribe to the products now, but that first payment won't be taken until this 1st of May. So the first payment will start to be processed on the 1st of May, and then it will arrive in the club's bank account around 6 or 7 working days later on. Like I said, if I set it to start now, it means that that payment is processed straight away. If I actually include a setup fee to this product, that means that a payment for the subscription might be taken, on this because it's set to start now. But I also want to take £10 as a setup fee. This is good for covering things like club kit or maybe league fees. So with this, at the minute, the way that I've set this product up, it's going to be taking £10 every month and a £10 setup fee, and it's going to be starting now. So once the user subscribes, the first payment will essentially be £20 because it'll be include the £10 setup fee. Then the following month after that and the months beyond that, it'll just be a £10 payment. If I set this to start on a date, like we mentioned, of the 1st of May, and a user actually subscribes to this product today, they will have a setup fee of £10. That'll be processed straight away. So it'll arrive in the club's bank account in around 6 or 7 working days. But that first payment won't be processed until the 1st of May. Now the bottom options for ending, you can choose these payments to end never, which means the payments will run and run until cancelled by either the club or by the user themselves. You can choose it to end on a date. So if I wanted to maybe stop taking payments after a certain date, so if I wanted to stop taking payments after the 31st of August, that means that anybody who signs up after the 1st of May, because I've set that as my start date, the payments will be taken on a monthly basis until I reach this date where no further payments will be taken. Now, if I choose after a number of payments, say example 10, this is where I can control the exact number of installments that people will pay, and that takes into account people that might be late paying. So if somebody maybe is late to the website or he doesn't actually sign up until the 2nd month or 2 months after everybody else has already signed up, if I choose after 10 payments, they'll still have a cycle of 10 payments to go through. So it doesn't matter when they actually subscribe, they'll still pay the full amount. So that's the first part of the product created. Now we can be a bit more creative with the product, and we can actually use it to collect membership information and even product-specific information as well. So this part of the site, the payment form, is where you can add it or choose this as a group product. So what we found with our payments feature is that a lot of members of clubs were actually wanting to purchase products on behalf of other people. So that means they might be wanting to purchase a family product which covers 2 adults, 2 children. So the way that you can manage this process and tell and so that you can see that this person has paid, but they're also paying on behalf of this person, and this person, is by choosing this product as a group product. So let's use the example of family membership again. If I created this product which was for either 3 or 4 people in a family, I would choose a minimum tag members of 3 and maximum of 4. So it could be for 2 adults and 1 child, or 2 adults and 2 children. What will happen is the user goes on to purchase the product. They'll be asked who are they buying this product on behalf of. The first option is themselves, that is pre-populated. Then the next box is where they can start typing the names of the other people that they're paying for this product on behalf of. You'll then, once they've completed the rest of the payment information and processed the payment, this will come through to your reporting area where you'll see, I've just received a payment for a family membership product from this person, so the payee, and they're paying on behalf of this person, maybe the husband and the 2 children, and you'll see quite clearly they've been tagged into the payment, as we call it. Now, if you wanted to make sure that your membership information is up to date when people make these payments, now this is where you can do it as well. So all you have to do is select from the custom fields that you've created and ask your members to provide this information and make sure it's up to date. If it's already populated, it should be pre-populated, so if it's already correct, they just keep it the same. But if, like say, they might have changed address, and you've got an address field, you can ask them to update that information here as well. If you want this information to be completed and stored against everybody who has been tagged into the product, so maybe you are collecting information about a mobile number, and it's a mobile number for everybody who's tagged into this product, you can actually choose it to be completed by everyone for everyone who's tagged to the product. So then the user will fill it out once for themselves, once for the other person and the other people that is filled that have been tagged into this product as well. If it's just information that you want to collect from the person that's paying, then you just put only the member buying this product option. If I wanted to collect information that's more specific to this individual product that I've just created, I can do that as well. And that is something, one of the most popular things that we use as an example is if you created a product which is a ticket to an annual dinner or your AGM, you might want to ask somebody whether they wanted to have a vegetarian option at the meal. Just click on add a question. It takes you to a page where you add these questions in. And similar to the fields that we saw before, you just click on save on that one. Lastly on that payment form is that you can actually collect gift aid declarations from members when they purchase the product. That is if you're a charity or CASC registered club, and also if you've clearly stated that this is a donation product as well. If you have, just click yes, and it'll look something like this. They just tick on the box that says turn my donation into £12.50 at no extra cost. They make sure that the information is correct. You'll then have this flagged in your reporting area that this person has said, yes, I can claim gift aid, where you can then export their information and import it into the HMRC's gift aid platform, claim that back. So that's a really useful tool. So I'll click save on this. And there we go, that's the first part of, that's the product created. I'll just give this one a test. There we go. Created the payment form, created all the products that I need. So now I just need to get my members to actually come to the website and pay. Usually, or in the past, that'll be through things like telling people at training, collecting everyone as cash after the game. Maybe sometimes you had bank transfers coming in from all over the place or checks and loads of paperwork everywhere. The way that we do it is we create one system that allows you to A, assign members to a product, and then B, tell those people that have been assigned to the product, tell the people that should be paying for this product to come to the website and pay via email. So there's no paperwork, no chasing people after the game. Send everyone an email, and you can actually keep sending these emails to get people to come if it takes a few emails. So as you'll see, once you've created your product, first page you see is this Assign Members tab. So you'll see these tabs as common themes throughout the whole payments feature. Assign members, members not paying, and members paying. So the idea is that you assign members in the Assign Members tab simply by selecting the people that you want to assign and clicking Assign 50 members or assign however many members. Now again, you've got the filters that you can use. So if I wanted to assign all of my first team players to this product because I know that they should be attending this tour, I will do. So if I click on roles, click on players, and then click on teams, and just select the first team. So it's the first team players, click filter. So I've got 22 first team players that all should be on this tour. I need to assign them to the product, which I'm going to do. And then if I were to refresh my page, or if I went to the members not paying tab, you'll see that these numbers update as well. So these instantly update. So I've got 22 people assigned to this product and 22 people are yet to pay. So the way that we do it, as I mentioned, is send in payment request by email. So I've selected everyone, send a payment request by email. This diagram here tells me who will receive the payment request. So in some cases you might want to assign all of your children or all of the junior members to a product because they are the people, they're the players, they should be paying. But obviously the parent will be the one who actually fills out the payment information and actually provides you with the cash. So you can actually still assign the players themselves and send these payment requests to the parent. Parent then receives a request, clicks on the link and fills out the information for the child, and you will then see each child is paid. Obviously the payment was made by the parent. So we'll click next, and your payment, you can add your own little custom message, and your email that you send out will look something like this, nice and easily laid out, easy to read. They just click on this big Pay Now button, redirected to your website with a page that will look something similar to this. So they've clicked on this link, redirected to the products that they are looking to pay for, and they just click on buy this product. Once they've clicked that, they'll first be asked to provide any information that you've asked them to provide, such as the membership fields, and tell you who they're paying this product on behalf of. Then they'll be redirected to a secure GoCardless page where they complete the payment by adding their own bank details, so sort code and account number. So what you'll find is that after you've sent these emails, you'll start to see a steady flow, or hopefully a real improvement in the way that you get those payments into your system quicker. So you'll see that these numbers update in real time too. So what I'll do is I'll go to one of my other test clubs and show you examples of how the system looks and how it works when you've got people that are paying for the product. So let's have a look at this product. So with this product, I assigned 127 of my members to come and pay. At the minute, only 15 people have paid, and 112 people is still yet to pay. If we look at the members paid tabs now, this looks a little bit different than the members not paid tab that we saw earlier. You'll see each record of the payments, when it was made, who was tagged into the product. If it's a group product, it'll look something like that as well. So you can see everyone who's paid it. You can see the method, the amount, and you'll have a status on here as well. So each payment has a status, paid, withdrawn, cancelled, failed. You should be able to just hover over the status and see what the actual payment status means. So as you can see with this product, we've got quite a few people that are paid, but then lots of people that are yet to pay. What I would do is just come back to this page, send them another request, maybe put some more information into the custom message here, say deadline this week, click next, and go through and send that email out to those people that are yet to pay. Now, if some of these people, or one of my members actually paid me offline, so maybe at the clubhouse they just said, can I just give you the cash now? I've got the cash now, that's fine, or a check, or a bank transfer. You can actually record those manual payments in your payment section, and those payments won't incur the 2.9% charge either. So all you do is click on the member, and you click on record manual payment. Here you can see I want to give, or Alex has paid me by check. He might have paid me paid at training, and I'll put my initials so I can see an audit trail of what's going on. And these numbers again will update in real time. So now I've got 16 people paid, 111 yet to pay. So obviously when you send out these emails for real, you should see a big increase in the people that are actually pay you through this method. And we've had clubs in the past with real success stories using this method. So I remember one club, I think last year, mentioned that they saw a 100% increase in the membership revenue that they created, just because they moved everything online. They were able to stop people from not paying or paying late, and get all that information, that payment, all those payments into the club quicker and easier than ever before. A couple more things that we can show you on the payment section. Focus more on the reporting areas. So as you can see, we've got a full reporting area. So you can use the products area to see who's paid for individual products, but you can use this reporting area to see a full breakdown of what's going on in terms of payments at the club. So I can see each payment and whether it's been made and when it was been made. I can see a status again. I can even see any failed payments. So this shows me that this payment has failed. I can then maybe go to GoCardless and find the reason for the failure, or maybe just talk to the user, the member, and say, look, this payment's failed. We'll organise a different way of paying for this product. Again, you've got the usual roles. So filters, so you can see how many people from your first team have paid for any product in particular. I can do that here. If I wanted to drill down that even further and do things like how many of the first team players have paid for a particular product, click on filter. There you go, I've got 10 of my first team players that have paid for this product. I then know I need to get more of the first team to come back and pay. If I want to then export this information to a spreadsheet and maybe provide it to the treasurer or secretaries, I can do that easily. Click on this export payment to CSV button, download the CSV spreadsheet to your desktop, and you can use that to pass on to anyone who needs this information offline. Last thing we'll touch on the payments feature is the bank transfers area. So with GoCardless, as we mentioned, it takes around 6 or 7 working days for the money to be fully transferred from the user's account into the club's bank account. So the way that GoCardless works is that if you're due a number of payments on a particular day, GoCardless will actually batch all of the payments that you're due into one payment itself and transfer that money across to the club's bank account that you've connected to the GoCardless account. So in this bank transfers area, you'll be able to see the reference numbers from any transfers that GoCardless have made, the dates and the amounts, and an ID for GoCardless purposes as well. What GoCardless will also do is they'll send you an email whenever a transfer is made to the club that gives you a breakdown of what that transfer consists of. So it makes it easier for you to reconcile where the money has come from, who it's, what payments have been consisting in that products and what products have been paid for. So that's about it for the payments feature again. So as we've mentioned, I strongly recommend just getting stuck into this feature, adding some products, connecting your GoCardless account, maybe even going through the payments process as a whole. It's maybe creating a test product of £1 or £2, pretending you're a new member joining up, going through the whole process so that you're aware of how it works, and just so that you can see how easy it is for members to actually then come and pay for the products that you've created. Just before we go, I'll show you another example of a payments area. So you can see once you've activated your payments feature and created all your products, a payments tab will appear. So the other method, rather than sending emails to people to come and pay for the products, so rather than sending those prompts, you could potentially just say to all of your members, please come to the payments area and choose the correct product that they should purchase. So then you can see they're all listed here with nice big descriptions. If I wanted to come and pay for this, click on buy this product, and that's where I'd complete the payment. So that just about does us for today's webinar. If anybody's got any questions, please feel free to ask. Doesn't look like there's any questions coming in. If anyone's got any questions after this webinar's finished, then please feel free to drop our support team a line, support@pituro.com. We've even got a live chat facility during office hours. We've got a really great support team in the Pituro office, so please feel free to make the most of that feature. If you've got any other issues, please do get in touch. I'm sure we can help you out. See, we've got one question. No problem, David. Thanks for attending. So that's about it for today's webinar. Again, thanks for attending. Hope you have a pleasant evening. Thank you.